could raise it real high.
We're good. We were live.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode. What is it? 7.
Yeah.
Correct.
Episode. I'm getting more of a kick out of going live without you guys actually being ready. I think I might want to ask
All right, that's cool.
I mean, all this talk should be live. Why not?
Yeah.
Live.
Episode 7 of Legends of Drama. You guys left the city. We've been doing, up until now, we've been in the city of Kyrenia, the big white city on the sea. And just last time, you guys got a mission from council members Yeladros. She told you that there's an iron shortage that the city's been dealing with. Most of the iron shipments come from a city in a sort of neighboring nation, a little vassal state called Tarsaria. There's a city there called New Sanctum. Mostly miners and craftsmen, but they have large amounts of iron deposits, and their main source of trade revenue with Kyrenia is to send them iron. They haven't been doing it for a couple of months. Ziela thinks that they're holding out for some reason and wants to send the 4 of you as a little delegation to find out why and to get the shipments moving again. Hashate's in charge since she's from Tarsaria originally. Yeah, and so you guys have left the city of Kyrenia and you're going out into the plains. Most of the area around the city is relatively flat. They have little bits of rolling hills. I'd say think Kentucky. Does that work?
Sure.
I've
That worked for
never been to
everybody?
Kentucky, so I have no freaking idea.
I've been through Kentucky.
The
but
different, like, it's like, think of a cross between Kentucky and like Kansas. Whereas Kansas, there's flat and nothing, totally flat. And so we're not quite there. There'd be a little bit of hill rolling around. But yeah, a lot of nothing. Trees are sort of sparse. You'll see little groups of them in areas around, but it's not a forest by any means. Mostly farmland. A lot of this place has been cultivated, and there's just large swaths of little farmhouses and plots of land where people have been working them. You're following along a river. I believe it's called the Fay River, coming out of Kyrenia, the main river that leads there from the mountains. And you're following that river until you reach a river town called Anders. It comes together at a fork where this river combines with another one before it gets larger and then flows into the city. And from there you should be able to take a road that leads you to a border forest that should take you into Tarsaria. So for now, you've just been traveling a few days, really. Things are kind of far apart, and it's a lazy walk down the road that goes alongside of the river. You'll see every once in a while, you see a little barge out in the river that has maybe 1 or 2 people steering it, that's loaded up with goods that are coming from places that are further upstream. There are mountains up there, and there is a swamp in front of the mountains. There are different kinds of people there creating things and shipping things that can't be found in the city. Just ship them all along down the river. Sometimes you'll see barges that don't seem like they have anyone manning them at all, and just kind of float down until they eventually get where they're headed. But a few days pass by rather uneventfully. Every once in a while you'll see someone else along the road, either going slowly in the direction you're going, or they'll pass you from behind, or they're heading back towards the city itself. After about 6 days, I want to say, well, depending on how quickly you want to go. Let's say, how quick are you guys moving? Would you say you're moving at just like a regular, normal walking travel pace?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to go quicker, or are you trying to slow down and take your time?
I think regular normal pace,
I'd
right?
say we're not really in like a huge rush.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't have a time limit for
There
this.
wasn't any sense of urgency, or extreme urgency at least, when you were given the task in the first place. You're expected to take a long time to get there.
Yeah. I know you're looking for those exhaustion points.
If you want them, I got them. I'm ready to hand them out. Okay. So about 6 days then,
All right.
as you move along, is when you'll come to the first sort of notable settlement. A little town. Town might even be too big. Village. Hamlet? How many synonyms for like a small town can we think of? Yeah. No more than a few dozen people that live there, and just a random smattering of buildings around. But there is a wooden sign posted along the road to mark that you're entering here. The town's built right along the side of the road. That you're entering the village of Doal. That's Doal. Doal spelled like coal that you burn. You're coming in there about late afternoon. Just the first rosy kisses of twilight coming in. And what the one thing that's noteworthy about this town, there is a little general store, there's a little inn, and there are a few farmhouses that are really close by to the road, so that those people are a little more active with the community. The big draw for Doal, at least in times past, is that they have a temple here. Not very much like the Temple of Freyor in Karenia, which is way bigger, multiple floors, many rooms. This is kind of just a little shrine almost.
But is it like Freyor followers as well?
It's a Temple of Freyor, yes.
Okay.
When you're on your approach, you'll see that it's old, and it looks a little broken, a little worse for wear. Some of the pillars that are holding up the roof are chipped, or rain even has just worn away some of the finer features on them. There's a little bit of overgrowth coming onto it. But the one thing that looks different and new about it is that it's boarded up. Someone recently, and you see fresh planks of wood, has come in and totally boarded this place shut. So as you're coming in, night's falling soon. It doesn't make much sense to keep traveling down the road when there's a perfectly nice inn right here that you could take shelter in for the night. Yes, the four of you walking into the village of Doal. What do you want to do? There's nobody out right now, but you can tell that there are people mostly gathered in the inn, and so there might be people in their homes.
Question: what was the name of the town?
Doal.
Doal.
Doal. Doal spelt like coal, not like the banana people. Or Bob Dole. Not like Bob Dole. To be clear. For everybody that remembers it. I wonder how many you guys remember Bob Dole, right?
Of
I
course.
have no idea who the hell that is.
Republican presidential candidate. He ran for president in the 1996 election. Okay,
Yeah, no
it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Listen, not old enough.
Now it's time for history lesson, Darveston. Sit down. We're talking to
Eating and I remember who Bob Dole is. He was very boring. He's not a memorable person. Okay.
Clearly he is.
You walk into the city, the four of you.
Yeah,
City, not the city, the village. Hamlet.
the little village.
Yeah.
The burrow.
The burrow. Burrow's even too big. What would you like to do? It's not dark. It's not even like sunset yet. But that's very soon.
So, Ravi, do you think you might know people around this little temple?
I have never been outside of the city in my entire life. Or at
Oh.
least not any more than like a day outside of the city. So probably not. and I look at the decrepit temple. Something tells me that no one is really here right now. But I intend to find out what is going on, though. I think we should probably get ourselves checked in at the inn, at the very least.
Do you think there's an inn around here? Because it kind of looks like a lonely,
I mean, if the stop on the road, it would be a good source of revenue for the town, so I assume there's probably an inn.
Hopefully. And we keep on walking inside and try to find an inn.
Yeah. It's, the inn would be a small 2-story building. Downstairs is like a little tavern area. Not big enough to house like a party or something, but just a little band of travelers like yourselves. And upstairs they'd have, half a dozen rooms that are just little boxes with a bed in them that you could sleep in. You walk inside. Let's see. Probably about 7 or 8 people in there right now. The innkeeper behind the bar. Let me see. Check here. He's an older man. Little fat. Bald, but with hair on the sides. So he's keeping what he's got. And he's got a thick mustache that comes down. What do you call that mustache that's like all big here and the side, like Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, like a lock. Like a lock.
Like a lock?
Yeah, similar to a lock, but it just goes all the way down.
Okay. Yeah. That works. It's kind of like a lock, but it goes all the way down.
Let's just go with that.
He's there cleaning out glasses. He looks like a regular bartender, innkeep guy. You've got seated at one of the tables. There is a young woman wearing overalls. She's got a scraggly mess of big brown hair. And she's sort of leaned over a table with a drink in her hand. She's off by herself, not talking to anyone else. You'll see a young Omni woman. She looks like sort of a cross between an otter and a beaver. If you could somehow imagine what a strange mix of creatures could be. And she's sort of curled up in a corner, but she's just sat up. She's sit down, but sitting up, talking to some of the other farmers that are around. Just a few regular folk. Nothing noteworthy about them. And then there's another older farmer. He's in the back, sort of hunched over and scribbling in a little book.
I'm going to head over to the barkeep.
All right. He says, "Hey, welcome to Doal. What can I do for you?"
Me and my companions would like a place to stay for the night if you have some available.
Well, it's almost always available. You done come to the right place. Let's see, you're looking just for a room, or you want us to feed you too?
I could go for a hot meal, and I will look at the rest of the crew, see what their opinion is.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Pretty hungry after that travel.
Yeah,
Try something new.
Got some baked potatoes. I can get you, scrounge up a little bacon. Yeah, well, I'll get you set up.
Great.
Let's see, for the 4 of you, you want 4 separate rooms?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll run you about 2 gold pieces for the lot. Y'all can divvy that up however you like.
Okay, and I'll just take a couple of gold pieces and put them onto the desk.
Oh, well, thank you, Ravi.
He said, "All right, find some place to sit. I'll get some food ready for you."
Thank you.
He'll put down what he's doing and he'll head back. What's not really a separate room, but this looks like a little kitchen next to the bar that he was standing in front of earlier.
So, how long should we stay around here? I mean, this looks pretty dead to me. We're just leaving, getting out of here in the morning? Or we're planning to stay here for a little bit and get some
Ravi,
rest?
did you wanted the mystery of the temple?
I was going to inquire about it, but I think what we're doing is vastly more important. And upon success, I will be able to come back here and rebuild the temple myself if everything goes according to plan.
Why don't you ask the barkeeper what happened to that temple?
I will once he comes back. But I figured it was most important to get our situation settled first.
Yeah.
All right. He will eventually return. He's got baked potatoes. That's his specialty. That's the thing he likes to brag about. He's got other stuff around, but that's the centerpiece of each plate that he brings forth. They got little bits of green onion cut up on them, butter splayed across. But he'll also bring, everybody will get a couple strips of bacon. He cooked up a chicken for the four of you, and so he's kind of distributed that a little haphazardly across the four different plates. And apples that they have orchard nearby. So everybody gets a big apple on their plate. So he'll give that one out to each of you. And say, anything else I can do for you?
Just a bit of information, if you have a moment, sir.
So, all right. He'll dry his hands on his apron. They weren't wet, but he just does that. It's a tick.
Habit.
Well, I noticed as coming into town that the church was boarded up. I was kind of curious as to what happened.
Oh, yeah. Had to board it up there about a week ago or so. Been kind of iffy.
Iffy in what way?
Well, I didn't want to go too far in myself. So I really only saw right there inside the doorway, but some of the candles that are set up in there meant to be lit for people that have passed away. You know what I mean? Anyhow, usually they're all left in the same spot and they get a little coat of dust around them. You just light one for whoever loved one you're there visiting. But a few of them have been moved around. Some of them are missing. And some of the other people went a little further down, downstairs into the crypt. They said that looks like they've had grave robbers through there.
That is most disconcerting. Would you mind if I took a look? And I will kind of motion to the symbol on my armor.
Oh, that's different. Ain't seen none of them priests around here. And well, hell, I've never seen any of them priests around here.
You mean you didn't have like a local priest around here?
Nah, we don't go in for that sort of thing. The temple there is not really used for worship no more. More just a mausoleum, really. You know, it's a really old one. Been around since the village was founded a long time ago. But, you know, people just keep putting their dead down in there. I suppose, I mean, if you're asking me for permission, you got it. I don't know if I'm really the only one that can give it, but I don't see any problem.
Do you know who I have to speak to get city permission? I don't want to disturb the peace, so to speak, if I can help it.
Well, I wouldn't say this is a big enough town to really have somebody we're worried about having in charge. Maybe you could talk to a handful of people and just make sure you get kind of a general okay. That'd make me feel better, at least.
I will do my best. Thank you, sir.
That's all right. Enjoy your meal. And he'll head back behind the bar where he's doing nothing.
All right.
Does anyone not want their bacon?
Sorry, I'm eating mine.
I will hand Hazate my bacon. Here, you can have it.
Thank you. As a carnivore, I find it extremely troublesome to find that I can eat properly.
Suppose that means Hazate's apple is up for grabs?
Sure. You want it?
Sure, that's a fair trade.
I'm eating the potato, though. He seemed really proud of it or something.
Yeah, it looked like it was really excited. I mean, it's not that bad, but it could use a little bit more work on it.
What would you do? I understand.
Me?
What do you got? Like,
And so you see that like mashed potato, you can do a lot of stuff.
this
man.
is a
You
baked
can put some-
potato, to be clear.
A baked potato.
A baked potato.
A baked potato. He's got green onions and butter. Those are the two big additions.
And that's it.
That sounds
Nothing
good.
else into it.
I mean, you could
Or you
twice
can put-
bake it.
You can put the bacon in there. You can put the cheese, the sour cream. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can put in there.
You could put the whole meal on the potato.
Exactly.
English potato jacket.
The apple.
You can get some little pieces of apple and toss it in there and mix it all up. Make a different flavor out of it.
All right. Do you do that, or do you just take it as is? Like, are you
Please
gonna
take
get
out
your
Oh no,
baked potato?
I start putting stuff into it and like trying to different flavors because it was too plain.
That was
Each in
the
your-
cooking corner by Arvestan.
See Arvestan reaching in his pocket. He pulls out, little pouches, and he put a little. It's like this is black
little
pepper.
stuff in there.
Sour cream.
The fish.
He doesn't have all of that. He put a little
Sticks to
salt.
warm sour cream, delicious.
Dried crustacean.
Yeah, some little dried shrimps and stuff like that. Put it in.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
You
All
guys
right,
done
that
this
was
guy.
that hit the spot. So, do we want to go out and ask people around and see who
Most of
we have
them-
to ask?
town would be in the tavern right now.
Oh,
They're just sort of seated around.
now I've been interested on what that person over there has been scribbling about in that book over there.
Me
So
too.
You want to go and check it out, Griff? And
Yeah.
ask that person what they're doing?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
That's how you make
Okay.
friends.
I guess.
Interrogating writers is how you always make friends.
I mean, I'm not the greatest on that. I mean, I don't even know how I met you guys. All
Walk,
because
walk about
Right.
creepily. What are you doing?
Rabbi told me about food and still haven't gotten it. So
I
Got
think
all
we
kinds
peer
of food.
pressured you.
You just got food. You
Hey,
paid
not
for
the
it
one
and
that he
everything.
not the one he promised.
Arvestan always
Scenario.
complaining.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a shorter fellow, an elven gentleman. You can see he's got the pointy ears, and he's just hunched over his little book. He's got a single candlelight on the table in front of him, So he's sort of poorly lit, and he's just scribbling away. It's almost all concealed from view from the outside. What would you like to say to him as you approach, either Kriv or Arvistan?
Criff, you're the friendly person, not me. So you go ahead and ask him. I just want to look and see what he's doing.
I'm just gonna be super blunt. I'm just gonna walk up really excited and be like, "Hi, I'm Crib. What are you doing?"
Gotta take notes. Gotta make sure to have a record. Gotta make sure.
Record of what?
All right, record of what's going on. Yeah, we gotta know. History. This is a big deal. People are gonna need to know what happened, what signs. They need to know what to look for. How to make sure it doesn't happen again. Can't have it happen again.
What's happening?
He'll look up at you. He'll say, necromancy. It's necromancy, I tell you. These people around here, they don't believe me. But I can tell. There's a little glint in your eye. I think you'd know.
Does this have to do with the boarded up temple?
Everything. It's got everything to do with that. That's exactly what's going on down there. I know it. I know it. I can't tell you how I know it, but I know it for sure.
Have you seen anything in there? Have you been in there?
I went down.
How
we
far?
went there. I went down into the crypt. I was down in there. Yeah. Okay. So I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah, what
That's
did
what I tell you, all right?
Okay, calm down.
Okay. When I got in, people in there, buried there hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. Some of those crypts, some of those people. If you go in only just a little bit, some of them coffins are broken open. Looks like people are taking something, jewelry, whatever fancy stuff people down there got buried with. But you still see the bones. You see the bones in there. You see them, right? You'll see all the bones in those coffins. You got to go further. You got to keep going. You go around, and when you turn the corner, the oldest part of the crypt, where it's real old, the coffins in there, they ain't where they were, all right? They've been pulled out, and they're busted open. I can't tell you. I don't know how. I'm not a forensic scientist or anything, but I think they got busted open from the inside. I think from the inside out.
That sounds bad.
Are you kidding me? It sounds worse than bad.
And
When did-
where are the people from inside? Where are they? How do you know that it's necromancy?
Where are they? You've got the right questions. I write it down right here. Where are they? Where?
When did you see this?
We went down about a week ago.
Have you gone back down there?
No, hell no. No way. No way I'm going to go back down there. There's necromancy down there. You've been listening to a thing I've been telling you.
But you haven't seen anything, like, in town or anything since
Don't
then?
have to. Don't have
Okay.
to. I've seen enough. I've seen enough for too many lifetimes. I know what I've seen.
That's fair.
Okay, so if you've seen it all, you're not scared about it? Because you're still here, though.
Do I look scared? Do I?
No?
I'm petrified.
And then if you went down there for a week, what are you still doing here
I
then?
wasn't down there for a week. I went down there a week ago. We came right back
Yeah,
out.
a week ago.
Right back
and
out.
Why are you still here then if you're petrified?
That's my home. I live here. We can't just pick up and go. I got a
Making
farm. I
records.
got generations of lifetimes. People have been living here.
Is it worth your life to stay here?
It is my life. There's nowhere else to go.
And
you
why
seem-
haven't you... Go, Griff.
Oh, so say, well, you seem very knowledgeable. I haven't even asked your name yet.
My name's Yerp.
Yerp?
Yerp, that's right.
Okay. It's
You
a
got
good
it.
name. Well, this is very interesting.
What?
I don't know how to finish that sentence. We were interested in this as well. My companion over there, he is part of the Church of Freyor. We were,
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Oh, right. Forgot, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. It's a temple. Yeah.
yeah.
Gods were doing, yeah. Right.
Yeah. That would be
So you're going
pretty
in there.
interesting.
He's gonna go in there. Your friend.
Statistically, probably.
He knows.
Don't know when though.
He knows a thing or two about necromancy. He can stop it, right?
I
Fix
don't
it.
know if any of us
Fix it.
know anything about necromancy.
No.
I turned around and yell at Rabbi. Yo, Rabbi, do you know anything about necromancy?
And I look around the bar as he's just screaming at anyone. Necromancy.
It's really not big enough that he would have needed to scream. He could have turned around and just talked, and you probably would have heard him. The scream's going to reverberate. Yeah.
I chose to yell it.
I know what necromancy is. I don't perform necromancy, if that's what you're asking.
Turn around to Europe. Does that work for you?
I didn't know. He sounds like he's an expert. He's got a fair shot better than I know.
All right.
Do you want my notes? It might help you.
Yeah, you can give it to Criff. She's the responsible one. She'll take it over.
I would love to read through them.
Close up his little journal and he'll hand it to you.
Thank you. Do you want this back after our investigation?
Yeah. Once everything's taken care of, we'll need the journal back. We need it for posterity. We'll need to be able to reference it in case something happens again.
Do you want me to take notes on what we come up with?
Yeah, here.
Awesome.
There's a pencil.
I will do that. I didn't mean to say that weird. I'm going to actually do that.
He doesn't take it as weird. So
Cool. He probably wouldn't, would he?
Yeah, he's kind of creepy.
I like him.
All right.
You like everyone, Criff.
All right. We got something going here. Okay. I'm going to go home. I'll be back here tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't know what we're doing yet. We just got in town, so I will let you know.
You're gonna tell me. Take
Yeah.
notes. Write it down.
I will. Everything.
We need it for records. History.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Very important.
Got it.
He'll chug down the rest of his drink, slam it on the table, and quickly shuffle out the door.
Well, that was interesting, huh, Criff?
Yeah. This sounds cool.
So we walk down to a couple of steps into the table, sit down again, and so Rebby, yeah. So apparently there's necromancy happening on that temple.
I firmly believe that's what he believes.
Well, he says there's...
Apparently?
Yeah. He says there's dead bodies missing regardless. That's not great. And some grave robbing, also not great.
Yes, I for sure believe that there's grave robbing going on, but necromancy's a big step from grave robbing, I would think. But he could be correct, which is part of the reason why we need to check it out.
Even if it's not necromancy, if the bodies are missing, body snatching's kind of weird, too.
I would agree, but I'd have to think that if it's the oldest part of the temple, and the temple was built at the beginning of the church, it's possible that most of those bodies have just already decayed to the point of almost nothing. But I'm not sure.
Did this guy look like someone trustworthy?
No.
Okay, mister, I was asking the friends.
That's just a note for Arvestead and Crib. You'd share what you like. He was an old elven man. And the way he was postured and the way he was talking, I mean, take from that what you want.
I don't know this man. Maybe he's just worried.
Yeah, it seemed pretty worried about it, and like,
I mean,
I don't know, it's weird.
I had a feeling we were going to be looking into this a little bit regardless, and he had some good information, probably.
Yep.
Probably. Did it look to be accurate at all?
I haven't read the journal yet. Shush.
Oh.
I'm just gonna open. I'm just gonna open it and start reading and ignoring them.
Kriv, make a insight check.
Insight.
Try to understand the journal.
Yes.
At first glance, it is scribbles. Some words are written on top of each other. Some of them are written like really thick. Some of them are really thin. None of them are written in the same orders. They're upside down, all over the place. What'd you get?
What? 19.
Okay.
Nice.
You're able to parse together some of it. Kind of get an idea of what he's going at. He is tapping into family history, stories, that are passed down from generations before the farm where he lives and works, where his family used to work. And according to his idea of what his family used to tell him, there was a case of some kind of necromancy occurring in this town in the past. According to the notes, he doesn't know exactly when it was, how long ago, or what the nature of it was even. Just that it was something, it happened before, and now he thinks that that's happening again.
Did he tell me everything that he'd had about what he saw and everything?
For the most part, yes. He seems convinced that he found coffins that were bursted open from the inside, but he admits that he doesn't know if that's really the case. He just assumes that much, and that those coffins he didn't actually look into, but seeing them broken, he assumed they were empty.
Is there anything that I read that is like blatantly like false or anything that I would know, or is it just all kind of personal?
I think Ravi put it best when he said, "You believe that he believes," in the stuff that he's writing there. He's not lying to himself. He hasn't revealed anything in the writing that's contrary to what he said to you.
Okay. I will tell everyone else about the potential history of necromancy in town. I'll just interrupt them if they're talking. I don't know what they're doing while I'm reading, but I don't know what you guys want to do about this. I don't know what our priorities are. This iron shortage sounds maybe important. Well, it is important. I didn't mean to say maybe. I don't know how timely anything is. If this, on the chance this is necromancy and there's going to be skeletons walking around, that doesn't sound great for this town.
I am firmly in belief that if this is necromancy, that this jumps priority for me personally. If it turns out to be grave robbers, I think we should try to at least point people in the right direction, but we won't know much of anything until we actually are able to get in.
Do you want to investigate before we leave? Go from there?
I would like to, yes.
Sounds
I'm with
exciting. Necromancy.
Okay.
Ooh.
We don't have to be there very quickly, I guess.
Yeah, they never gave us a timestamp, so we should be good.
They waited this long to even send us, so.
I will approach the half beaver person.
Sure.
If they're in fact awake.
She's awake. She just sort of sat in the corner. She was chatting to some of the other residents of the town, but they've since taken off by now. And she's been kind of waiting for one of you to come and talk to her. She's very sociable seeming.
Good evening. May I have a moment of your time?
Yes, certainly. I'm very happy to see you. Don't get too many travelers coming through here, spending the night, especially not people outfitted such as all of you are. Seem to be on some sort of adventure.
We are actually. We are from Corinia and heading off on a super special, somewhat diplomatic mission to talk about the iron shortage there.
Oh,
See
fancy.
how friendly she seems. I'm gonna walk over there too.
Oh, right. What are your names, can I ask?
I'm Robbie.
I
I am
see.
today.
All right. Very eclectic group here. I like it. I like it. I like seeing new, fresh faces. Very fun. Well, I own the trading post next door. If there's anything else that you might need, I saw you came in with a horse and seemed loaded up with some stuff, but there might be some things that you find out here in the country you can't find out down in the city. You never know.
Tomorrow morning, I'll be sure to come take a look. But for tonight, I was wondering if I could ask you a couple of questions.
Sure. Anything. What do you need to know?
I'm sure that you heard the outburst of the elderly gentleman not that long ago, correct?
Oh, Europe. Yes. He's a little out of sorts lately.
Yes. But he is right insofar as that me and our group would like to take a look into the situation. While I personally do not necessarily believe that it is necromancy, I do believe it's possible to have a grave robbing problem, which is serious enough. I would like to get your permission, and I'm trying to get permissions of some of the others, to enter the old church as a cleric of Freyor myself and kind of see what's going on.
Also, is he always like that?
He's always like something. I can tell you that for sure. This is a rather new turn, though. A lot more desperate than usual. If you're trying to go into the old church, I should tell you nobody goes in there unless they're burying someone. Seems weird. I think this whole thing's a little blown out of proportion. A couple candles got shifted around. Maybe a couple graves got broken into. Definitely a problem, but I don't know what going in there is going to help. If there were grave robbers, they'd be long gone by now.
Have you seen anyone enter or leave recently?
Not since we boarded it up. Nobody's been in or out of there.
How about just before?
Well, if I'm being perfectly honest, it's just an old ruin. I never really thought twice about it, so didn't really glance that way too often. Didn't keep tabs on it. People might have been coming and going in there all the time. I wouldn't have noticed. You know, sometimes I've heard teenagers might hang out there in the summer and see if they can find a ghost or something like that, but nothing ever really comes of it. Just an old building, really.
You said there's not newcomers through here often. Have there been any in the past, 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Not anyone other than the usual traders we see. No. If anybody's come through here, they haven't stopped by to see me. I can tell you that.
Well, again, as it is a church of my following, I'd still like to take a look, if it's okay with you.
I mean, if you feel like you have to. Really, anybody can go there. It's whatever. Just an old building. I don't care.
Thank you.
That's no problem. Now, there is a building that I do care if you visit. Make sure before you leave tomorrow that you stop by and say hi. I've got a lot for sale, but you don't have to buy anything. I could do for some more conversation.
I most certainly will.
Well, all right
You
then.
seem well versed in advertising yourself.
Well,
Do you have
be.
magical items?
Oh, do you have money?
I mean, it all depends on what type of magical items you have.
Well, if
What's your shop known for?
my shop is known for being, well, the only shop in town.
Okay.
I
Okay.
suppose outside of Doal, it's not really known much at all. But what I can tell you, if I am really actually any good at advertising myself, if you want to find out what we have at the store, you'll have to come by and see.
Hmm. Okay.
I respect that. You seemed excited to talk to new people. Is there something in particular you wanted to mention besides your store?
Well, I suppose it would be the kerfuffle that's going on with the church. Even though it's not something that concerns me greatly, it seems to have affected a lot of the people in town. Not a lot happens around here, so it's always a joy to have anything happen I could talk about with someone else. Um, it seems to have brought some adventurers in through here, so it seems like a big deal. I say, if you find anything interesting in there, do let me know. I could start to, you know, change the name of my shop, maybe. Grave Robbers Paradise. Maybe book some tours and talk about the crazy adventurers that came through here and dove down into the crypt.
All
That'd
right.
be cool.
Is the overall lady still here?
Yes,
I
she is
will
very
probably
quiet.
approach her next.
Yes, she's just sat at the table with a mug in front of her, and she's looking down at her own reflection in it.
Uh, Good evening, miss. May I have a moment of your time?
What do you want?
Long story short, I would like your permission to enter the old temple, as it is a temple of my god, and I've heard stories of grave robbers, and I take that very seriously.
What is it you're planning on doing in there?
Hopefully, I will find some information to help find the grave robbers.
I mean, do whatever you want.
Are you troubled, miss?
Uh, she'll sort of push her mug away from her and just kind of relent and sit back in her chair. She'll say, "All right. My father died a few months ago. We had just put him down in the crypt below the temple. And, that place wasn't built to stand the test of time. We've had to put together an expansion underneath it. It's really just kind of a makeshift place. And that's where we laid him down. So it's not really a proper place to put such a man to rest. And now that we know somebody's in there messing with stuff, moving candles or taking things from people, I think about them down there with my father, and, well, I don't much care to think about it."
I can assure you that we will do our very best to assure that if someone is breaking into anywhere down there, that they are brought to justice. And if not, and it turns out that just some kids were playing with candles and the whole story is widely exaggerated, I'm on an important mission, and I hope that on my way back, if we are successful, that I can restore a number of temples of Freyor. And this one is clearly in need.
Well, tell you what, if you're heading down there anyway, do you mind checking in on him? I don't know what whoever went in there was down there looking for, but he didn't have nothing. Just want to make sure they haven't done something to him.
Any valuables down there?
Some people might have been buried with something. But I don't know. I didn't check in on everybody. Mostly just my father down there. I don't know if you'd even recognize him. I don't think I would anymore. Forget it. Don't worry about it.
Is there something he might be wearing that would indicate who he is?
I ain't wearing what he was wearing every day. Same thing I'm wearing now. A pair of overalls.
Did he have any distinguishing items? A belt buckle, a chain, something of that nature?
Well, he was sort of proud of his boots. Died with them on, so we buried with them on. Sort of plated on the end. Little dome shape. Protect his toes.
Well, I will take a look while we're down there. As I said, we're going there anyway, so if I see him, I will check to see if he is otherwise unharmed.
All right. If you're looking for my permission, you have it.
Thank you.
All right, that's 3 people that can let us go in, I guess. We don't have to ask anybody else, right? I mean, that's kinda everybody in here.
Once you're finished speaking to the woman, she'll get up to leave.
I will come back and kind of rejoin the group. Well, so far no one's taken or has objected to our entering.
All right. So when do we want to do this? Do we want to do it tonight, all spooky and everything, or do we want to do it in the morning and check it out? Because if it's necromancy, most of it's gonna be happening at night, right? At least that's what I think.
My only concern is that if we start entering a old abandoned church deep into the night, we would look highly suspicious.
We did tell these people that we were trying to go in, right? So I don't think there should be any suspicions.
I mean, we told like 4 people. This town probably has a couple dozen.
Yeah, but I mean, do we need to ask permission to all of them?
If we're there all night, did you just waste gold?
I mean, I probably would have, but I mean, we still got the meal out of it, so kinda.
Yeah, that is true.
I would like to sleep. We have done a lot of going and bouncing around in dark alleys while I'm half asleep and falling over, so I would prefer not to do that again.
I don't see why we couldn't just check it out in the morning.
But where's the fun in that?
We can get up rather early. We can show up in the late afternoon.
Yeah, we can stay a couple of days and see how spooky this place is.
We can try not to stay that long.
Yeah, we could be gone by tomorrow night.
I mean, sure. If we find out what's happening actually, right?
Yeah, that was the plan, wasn't it? To go see the actual temple and go from there?
Yeah.
See if it's something to address now or address later?
It could be something completely insignificant, like the teenagers.
Yeah.
I completely agree that that's what it could be. But that's why we need to take a look first.
I don't know. But that beaver lady...
As a teenager, I would have stolen from dead people. They don't need it.
You're evil.
Wow.
You always jump straight to evil.
So
I
no
mean,
or
look at the
nothing kind
things
of
you
thing.
say. Come on, how are you gonna steal from dead people? Yeah,
What
they
are they
don't
gonna
need it,
do?
but
Put
yeah,
it
they don't need
on?
it, but come on. I mean, that beaver lady did sound kind of suspicious when she kind of was like misdirecting us and telling us that there's just mumbo jumbo, nothing actually happening there.
You just
I
don't
think
trust
she has.
anybody.
I think she has something to do with it.
You
That's
don't
my.
trust her, but you trust the weird little man.
Hey, I trust you, don't I?
If you could call it that.
I mean, he sounded more worried than this lady here, and nobody else has like anything to do with it. So
So
Uh,
you're trying to say she wasn't interested enough and was trying to veer us away from doing it?
yeah, so yeah. And whenever I ask her about magical items, her eyes will like kind of popped off, and she's like, "Just wait till you come in and see." So
That's because
I don't
they're
know.
expensive.
Yeah, but I mean, if there's something magical, I'm guessing she has to do something with it.
Hmm?
Why?
I don't know. I just have a hunch. She tried to deviate us and not like kind of tell us to like don't waste your time going in there and
Yeah,
stuff like
sounds like
that.
your everyday telemarketer.
So the other guy was too into it. She's not into it enough.
I don't know.
What are
She's
you
And
looking
the
suspicious.
for?
final one really wanted us to check on her dad. What's
Yeah.
the information we have?
Do you want to do this or not, Arpistan? I don't understand.
Yes, I said we should. I even said to go in tonight, but you guys want to sleep, and I guess we gotta sleep first, and
yes, I
then
want to sleep.
go into it.
If you're really dying to go, by all means.
No, I don't want to die down there by myself, and then my body's gone. So, I'll just wait for you guys.
I have a like non-time related question. If we've been traveling along the river this whole time, have you been sleeping in the river every night?
Maybe.
Every night as everyone makes camp, he just slinks off into the river.
Just meet up with you later.
Tie off to a post so he doesn't flow downstream.
Never
Oh,
wants an
no,
actual bed, does he?
I think we probably should have just taken a boat to Anders. Like that probably would have been a lot quicker than us
It-
walking. And hindsight.
Probably.
It's kind.
They
It's
could have
kind of
also
up
just
and up.
been lazy rivering it all the way there.
You take a boat, you got to go upstream the whole time,
Okay.
so it's a lot more effort.
Yeah, more effort would take us longer.
Okay.
Alright, I guess everybody's going to sleep, and then we meet down here again in the morning.
Will do.
Alrighty.
Okay. It's a full rest, but Ben had a full rest this whole time, so you don't have to do anything with that. Everybody's room is very small. In there is a bed and a chest. If you have to put anything away while you're sleeping, you can keep it locked up. And you can lock the door too, of course. There aren't any windows. There's nothing particularly interesting in the rooms upstairs. Come back down in the morning. Part of your 2 gold pieces for room and board is a breakfast. Continental breakfast. So they got the coffee there, old bagels, all the stuff that you get used to. There is cheese now. They didn't have it with the baked potato last night. And eggs and sausage.
We're improving.
I mean, it sure beats rations, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Eggs are scrambled and just all together.
Good.
Serve yourself buffet style. I don't have to describe all the breakfast to you. We can move on at any point, but let's keep going.
We just
sausages
like hearing you talk.
all linked together in a big spiral. So it looks like a big spiral, like an ice cream cone of sausage all wrapped around. It's basically all the food he's got. He doesn't have a lot of people staying at the inn, so anytime somebody comes, he does it upright. He wants the recommendations. He wants the return.
Oh, yeah.
Make everything look nice. And he's hungry too, so the innkeeper will eat with you while you have breakfast. He's not gonna make all that food and just let you eat. He's gonna eat some.
See, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to picking up food.
Carnivores. I understand. Alrighty. So,
yeah, what's
Do you have any
the-
tips about being down there? He's eating with us. Might as well
He
chat.
said, well, I didn't go down too far myself. Have you ever been in a tomb before? Crypt?
Yes, but I think ours was a bit differently designed than what I think this one's going to be.
Yeah, well, probably. Haven't been in too many. I suppose it's the only one I know about. It's dusty, musty, crusty. So
I'm assuming it's wise to bring a torch. There's no natural light down there.
you're gonna want torches, yeah. Won't be able to see without them. Yeah, just keep your breath close. If you put your hand on the wall, watch out for spiders, ants. Yeah, watch your step. We don't go in and maintain it, so there might be a loose stone here or there. Chance to trip.
Sorry, no, sorry.
You might sneeze, you never. So, yeah.
Random sneezes from the wall.
If you've been in a cave, you've been in a tomb.
all right.
I
I
got no
mean,
more tips.
we kind of been into a cave. I mean, if those sewer tunnels kind of
Oh yeah, sewer. Yeah,
work like it, you know.
imagine sewer, but not as wet and more dead stuff.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
okay. Are we gonna see skulls around all over the place?
I hope.
You hope? Okay.
They're
You're coming
supposed
with
to be
us?
down there. I'm not going with it.
To be there.
If you don't see skulls, there's a problem.
Yeah, if
Are there-
it's no, we got a much bigger issue.
Are there any risks of cave-ins?
Well, I don't think so. Maybe. I suppose that could be possible. It's not that far below the surface. So if it does cave in on you, we'll know about it right away.
And you'll know we're in there.
Yeah, I'll keep an ear out.
Thank you.
Anything else I can get for you? Are you on your way?
I'm ready to go. I will look around the rest of the group.
I'm good.
A drink for the road? Hair of the dog? All right.
Nope.
Well,
We're good to go.
have a good search.
Hunting.
Hunt?
Yeah.
Hope
I
it's
like
not a
it.
hunt.
I hope it's not a hunt too.
Yeah, he'll open the door for you and wave you. Little ways down the road. You got to go and then take a turn. The temple itself is at the top of a little hill, so it stands up above the rest of the town. You were able to see it on your way coming in because it was positioned as such. And when you get to it, it is boarded up. It looks like it's made probably limestone, and it's been etched away by rain, and plants are growing all over everything. I'd say from the outside it looks kind of like a Greek temple. Pillars up front, and so the front of the temple itself is exposed. It's not a wall. You can just walk in between the pillars if there weren't the boards in the way. And you can't see inside yet since your view is blocked. So what would you like to do there?
I'll go up to the one of the boards and see if I just pull it off. Is it super well nailed down into there, or is it just kind of like...
It's a strength check to pull it off.
Yeah.
Do we see
I'll go
people
check.
around the church? The temple, sorry.
The innkeeper is standing outside the inn, far enough down the road that he can see where you are. And he's down there just kind of watching as you go. And you can
Dirty
see-
20 strength check.
Perfect. You could rip those boards off with no problem. The only other person you see watching you is the owner of the trading post.
We didn't go there.
She's also come out and she's watching you.
Okay.
You guys said you were going to do this. It's something interesting happening today, so they're keeping an eye on you as you go in.
All right.
You guys, limestone and running water. There's definitely ghosts here. That's how this works. That's how it works.
All right. So you
Robbie
think
starts
that
pulling boards off. The nails stay in the boards as you pull them out, and little crinkles of dust coming out from the holes in the stone where they get ripped out, and opens a gap wide enough for all of you to fit through and get inside.
How-
Go ahead.
Mhm.
I go ahead and do my cantrip of produce flame to have some light.
Sure.
Who wants to go in first?
Yeah.
Whoever has the light.
First.
All right, I will. Thanks for.
What?
It's
I mean,
not often that I feel safe enough for me to go first. So
I mean, Hashote, I think
Have this
you
one?
better go in first on everything since you're the leader of the caravan. You know?
Oh yeah,
You're in
Yeah.
charge.
leader. So
you're right. A good leader would go first.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. Hasta, you'll step in. It's a few steps up to get into the temple itself. From the outside, you can tell that this is just one room here, and that the rest of it has been dug out underground. But when you walk in, it's a stone floor, and at the other end of the room, on both sides, there are little stands, probably about the size of a desk. You might have seen these if you've ever been in a church before, but they have like little steps on them. Looks like a little staircase, and then there are candles lined up on each step. As you look at them now, none of them are lit. Nobody's been in here for a week, so they shouldn't be. But you can see there are spots where there used to be candles. You could tell by rings of wax around that would have melted off and put them in place, where the candles have been removed, and they're missing. They're not on the ground anywhere. There's an altar in between those two stands. Just a plain stone altar. There's no distinguishing features on it. If there ever were, they've been worn away by now. And in the very back of the room, there's a little set of stairs that goes down to a landing, and then that splits off in two different directions going down. This room itself is still kind of lit. There are gaps in between the boards that are boarding up the front, and sunlight is coming in through those gaps. If you've ever been in a boarded up house in the daytime, everybody's nodding.
We're listening.
You haven't walked into a boarded up house.
I mean,
I don't know, I guess. I would think that that's a thing that was like, oh, maybe not everybody's done that. Okay,
Well,
sure.
my family's prepared for the zombie apocalypse,
We've all
so
been in a boarded up house before, so you know what you're getting into. Does anyone else go in behind Hajite? She just kind of walks in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
everybody just follows her.
Okay, so you're just going with her. So everybody will
Ghost.
see the same thing that I just described.
I'm going to look around the altar to see if there's manuscripts, texts of any kind, any remnants of this place.
Do an investigation check.
19.
It is worn, but there are markings around the upper lip. So, like the very top of it is wider than the rest of it, and all around the outside there are markings that are written. You can do a history check to try to determine. They're very faded, so it's hard to see exactly what they're saying.
No, I got a 3.
So they're very, very faded out, and you can't read them.
Okay. I was going to take a look, see if there's any scriptures or anything. But okay.
Right.
Is it pretty like dusty or dirty in here? Can I see if there's like footprints or anything like that?
Sure. Let's do. Whoa, how do I track this? Survival, I guess. Seems weird to do it for this, but yeah, that'll work.
20 plus 4.
Okay.
Damn.
Nice.
Well, you see every particle.
Having that like just moment, like no, never mind.
Mentalist, you're seeing things as they happen. You're seeing in your mind like Batman.
It's like a brain blast.
There would be enough of a dust layer to leave footprints for people. None of them look very recent, so any footprint that you do find still has dust in it. So nobody's just been here, which falls in line with what you've heard that it's been boarded up for a week. But yeah, you find several sets of footprints. Like a bunch of different people have been in and out of here pretty recently, maybe about a week ago when they said. Not all of the footprints go down the step of stairs, but you see, it's hard to tell exactly how many, but it's at least 3 or 4 sets of footprints go down into the crypt.
I start writing all the notes in Yerp's journal.
If I go to the edge of the staircases, am I able to see the bottom?
You can see that from the level you're on in the room, it goes down to a landing, and then that landing splits and goes in 2 directions that lead to another landing, and then another set of stairs goes down into the crypt itself, but you can't see that far. It sort of makes a U-turn to the bottom. So,
was there a particular staircase that the people tended to favor?
One set of prints goes down one side, and the other sets of prints go down the other side.
Do they come back up?
Yes.
Is it the same amount going down as coming up?
As far as you
like
can tell,
more?
I mean,
Are they dead?
it's a lot of prints. Even with the crit, you're pretty sure that everyone that went down also came back up.
Okay.
And nothing looks like skeleton feet?
It's all shoes. I don't know what a skeleton's footprint would look like. That might be very hard to see.
Yeah, kind of, sorta.
Unless they're flat-footed. I got an arch on a pretty decent arch on my foot. That's what I'm picturing. And then if it was just bones,
I mean, you might walk with a limp. Maybe there was a drag. I don't know.
Could be.
So, do we want to split up? Have 2 getting each side?
Yeah.
Sure.
They go to the same place, right?
Do they?
I think so, but I'm not sure.
All right. Yell if there's a problem, I guess.
We can at least go down and see if it leads to the same place, and if it doesn't, backtrack.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
I will go down the left side.
Road less traveled.
Robbie turns
All right.
left.
Who's going to go with?
Left. Camera left.
I'll go with him.
You go with him. All right, you and me, Criff.
Let's go. I still have my fire, assuming it's going to be dark.
Yeah. Just
Might
be
as well have two
careful.
lights.
Be careful. Don't burn the book, okay?
Nah, I got 2 hands.
Okay. 'Cause I don't know what will tell Europe after you burn it by accident and stuff like that.
Heading down, are there like wall torches?
No.
We
Or you're
do
thinking
still
like
have.
places where you could put a torch, or where there might be one
Assuming
set
that
on it?
like something that would be there we could potentially light.
There
Do,
doesn't appear to be any system that's meant to keep this place lit. Once you get down there, it's dark, and there's no sources that are meant to project light to keep it lit.
I will just cast light. My Freyor light the way. And I'll do what I normally do in a dark spot and just have my little pendant be my little light. Light
do
'em
we
out.
have?
Fine.
Do we still have the torches that Celia gave us?
Got me my human glow stick, it's fine.
You'd have torches if you needed them. Arsene, you also have dark vision, so you don't
Yeah,
super
it
have to
doesn't
worry about
matter
it.
for me. Yeah.
But Ziella would have given you torches. Father Gregor would never have let you left the city without torches.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. That's true.
so you've definitely got at least one, probably a few for each of you.
Yeah. All right.
We'll follow Hashte and Ravi first.
Alrighty.
You come down your set of stairs, turning left, and as you come and make the turn around the stairway, you're in a very narrow hallway. It's about 5 feet wide, and the top of it is just above your head. So probably 6 feet tall. You think a tall person would have to duck to get through here. At the very
Criv.
Yeah, me and Kriv are like hunched, like.
We're not there.
As soon as you get to the
It's
base
fine.
of the stairs and you see the hallway extend out in front of you, it goes about 50 feet straight that way. But immediately at the base of the stairs, you can see there are alcoves cut into the sides of the hall that are the size of a coffin. And that there are tombs built in to the walls to your left and to your right. And you can see forward that they continue to be at regular intervals on the right and also on the left, but they're spaced out a little bit more. You look into the coffin immediately. There's one on your left and one on your right. Either one that you look into, as soon as you get to the bottom of the stairs, is open. The top has been taken off and pushed to the side, and there's a skeleton laying in there. Some of them have old clothes. A lot of the clothes have been eaten off already. They look very old. These are not recent burials. These are people who have been here a long time. They're sort of calcified over. And if they had anything that looked like it would have been of value, they don't have it now. On the other side, Kriv and Arvistan, you go right, and you go down a set of stairs. You also find a hallway about 5 feet wide, about 6 feet high, that extends down about 50 feet. Your hallway is almost identical but mirrored. So for you, there are more alcoves on the left side, and on the right side, they're spaced out a little wider. And if you were able to somehow communicate with each other telepathically, you'd know that the in-between is sort of stepped back and forth like that. So you get an alcove from one hallway, and then an alcove from the other hallway, back and forth to the end of the hall. And you see a lot of the same stuff that Ravi and Hajite are seeing. The coffins are open. There are bones inside. Sometimes tattered clothes. They look like very old corpses. Nothing valuable in there.
Do we see that they were like robbed? Go rate it.
Exactly which way would you want to determine that?
Yeah, it's kind of hard, but
Is there anything that you would be looking for? Like, say
um,
you in real life opened the
okay.
coffin and wanted to
Fingerprints because it's all
fingerprints.
dusty and stuff like that.
Make an investigation check.
Investigation check. That'll be a 15.
Um, not really.
Okay.
Is it like all of or most of them? Or any undisturbed?
There are some that, while all the coffins are open, are more decrepit on the inside. So some of them you find what is either a complete skeleton or an almost complete skeleton. And some of them, those bones have deteriorated already so far that it's like part of a skull and maybe like a femur and a rib cage with a few ribs that are broken off and fallen in. But they are all open and they're all exposed. And each one does have some semblance of a body in it.
So are the more full skeletons, are they like jostled around where you would assume that they weren't put down there like that?
Make an insight check. See if you think they look the way they should.
15.
As far as you can imagine the way that someone would be buried in a coffin, they look like they're laid in the same way that they would have been laid when they were first buried. Like they haven't been moved.
Any sign of those bones being moved? Any strange, like, footprints and anything like that we see in the floor?
You'll see some trace of the footprints that Kriv identified earlier. Some of them come down just to this hallway, and then that's where they turn around and go back out. In
Okay,
either
so-
hallway, each of you only sees one set of footprints continue to go forward.
Only one set of footprints continue to go forward, but the rest
Right.
of them just turn around.
So each hallway only has one set of footprints. So it's two
Okay.
altogether.
And they just go like what? Halfway we're talking about?
They go
And then
further
they
into
go
the
back?
crypt. You don't see exactly where that person turns around, but you do see them all coming back too. So you see it should be the same set going in and then coming back out.
Okay.
So we never decided when we were gonna turn around. So how far do you want to walk in, Ravi?
I think we keep going at least to the end of the hall, see what's at the edge of the big room. I mean, and I kind of like take off my pen and kind of like use it almost as a torch. The coffins that are, what's like the highest coffin as far as height wise up? Is it like at my head? Like somebody put somebody up like on the top of a shelf? Are the coffins up there too? Or are they all like at waist level or lower?
So the temple doesn't seem like it was planned to house very many people.
Yeah.
So each alcove only has one coffin in it.
Got you. Okay.
In a lot of mausoleums, you'd see shelves, but
Yeah.
not this one.
Okay. And then I guess I'll keep walking forward.
Sure.
And then I think I'll kind of like shine the light over to either side, see if I notice anything that pops out immediately, like, hey, this is different than something.
Yeah,
that I
and
did
just to
before.
continue to make sure that we're seeing the same thing
Yeah,
in everyone
absolutely.
as we go along. Kriv and Arbstan, are you guys going to keep walking forward, or are you planning on turning around?
What do you think, Crib?
And who's up front? Because
They
Hasata's
are
now
in
with you.
front.
You can't pull that.
Yeah, I know, Sally. They are in front because they have the little flame.
The flame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm very curious about this, but I don't know how you're feeling.
I mean, if we're down here, we're split. Might as well just go all the way, right?
Well, I don't know about all the way. That's 100% what we had not agreed to. But we can peek a little further, because I
I
don't
mean,
know.
then let's go further then, and
We don't
see
have
what
any
we get. If
information.
we find something that scares us, spooks us, or anything like that. If not, we can go a little bit in further.
I will
Ghosts,
say,
ghosts,
so
ghosts.
far, everything you've told us has been true.
Yes.
Gotta say.
Yep. Europe is hitting the nail on the coffin on this one.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Ba-dum-ps.
Give it to him. Give it to him. I know it's not good, but he did it.
There's a very fun, awkward silence afterwards where Crib does not laugh.
Come on, Crib. You know
Oh,
you like
Crib.
it. You know you love that.
When all of you
joke.
get to the end of your respective hallways, you will hear that silence from Kriv and Arvistan laughing at his own joke. Let's see.
Right. Well, that
So
would be
can
okay.
assuming can we hear them talking?
Yes. When you get to the end of the hall, you actually see them.
Yeah, it gets connected, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
If Robbie turns to his left and Kriv turns to their right, you'll be able to face each other. So you're in another hallway that is perpendicular to those two halls. So if you think those two halls come like this, you're in another hallway that extends this way. And it'll go off to the left, and it'll go off to the right, and then there will be another hallway that sort of bisects the hallway in between where the two of you are. So it's only about 15 feet apart, the two hallways that you just terminated at. But coming out of the hallway that you're in now, in the opposite direction that you came from, there's another one that leads into another part of the crypt. So 3 different directions.
So, are we splitting again, or are we deciding to investigate all of this together now?
Well, so far, I'm not seeing anything that screams necromancy, so I'm not feeling particularly endangered at this time. I'm okay
Is-
if I put up.
Is there one hallway that like no one went down, assuming that there were 2 people that headed this way?
Make a perception check. Check the prints.
Good
Just look
question.
around.
Good question.
Well, guys, I can't see it.
Okay.
I rolled a 2, so unless there's glow stick on it, I
Right.
can't.
I
What's that?
got a 19.
Okay. Those 2 set of footprints do go further. One of them goes off to the left, down that hallway, and one of them goes through that center hallway that's in between these 2. Off to the right, nobody's gone in that direction.
Oh.
Well, down the left and down the center is where the most recent people went, if we want to continue down that way. Alternatively, we could go to the right and see if those are also disturbed, as that will tell us something, at the very least, if people have been robbing this place for a long time.
Is there any footprints going to the right side?
There, not that I see.
No? Huh. That's
So-
interesting.
What that kind of tells us is at least forward in the other direction they came back. If
Yeah.
there's something menacing down here, we don't know about that other direction.
Or no one's just been down there for a hot minute.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're probably coming back sometime to get this right side, and if they're grave robbers, they're tomb raiders, then they'll probably come back to this right side and finish the job, right?
That is a logical conclusion, I think, yes.
The one with no feet is probably more dangerous. The other one's back.
That's what I said.
I know. So, but I'm saying, do we want danger?
They
What
might
if
have
the-
more information though too.
I mean,
What
we
if-
can go down the 2 less dangerous ones first, and then as a group we go down the most dangerous one in case there is in fact danger that way.
Theoretically, one of these is going to lead to the older stuff. Do we want to get there together, or I would like to see that,
Okay.
and I don't know which
Well, there's-
direction that would be.
What sort of, maybe we just decide on a distance before turning back. If someone hits an end, maybe yell.
Do we want to split? 2 and 2? Check the places that were already with their have footprints, and then as a group go to the one that were no footprints?
That works for me.
I'm assuming it shouldn't take very long to get to the end of the ones that aren't supposed to go deeper. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of people here.
Probably. Alright, Kriv. Lead the way. What side you want to choose?
So we're choosing between
Straight
forward.
or left, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I would say the one with no feet maybe last with all of us.
Yeah.
Let's go forward.
Forward.
Okay.
Alright.
Who's going forward?
Kriv and I.
Kriv. Oh, keep it same
Yeah.
groups. All right.
Yeah, same group.
Gonna have Ravi and Hajite head off to the left path then?
Correct.
Okay. Kriv and Arvistan. It's a short hallway, maybe only about 10 feet. And then it leads into a larger room that's about 25 feet square. In this room, close near the entryway, there are 2 pillars standing that support the ceiling. And just past those 2 pillars is a statue. The statue, like a lot of the rest of the temple, is made out of limestone, and it's been worn away by time.
All right.
So the head and part of one of the shoulders has broken. You can see that where it should have fallen to, there isn't any stone rubble or anything. And a lot of the finer carvings on it are worn away, so some things that would have been more detailed are smoothed out. There's a little carving in the base of the statue that's difficult to read because of how worn it is. And you can see in front of that plaque where there's something written, there are candles placed.
Can I try to read it?
Yes. Let's make a check. How to read something that's hard to read because of
Is
how
there linguistics in
worn
this?
it is. Let's see. I'm gonna have you make 2 checks.
Ooh, okay.
Investigation followed by history.
Okay.
Investigations to try to figure out.
Investigation's an 8.
Okay. Give me your history.
An 8.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
What is
Yikes.
written there, you can kind of make out the lettering, but it's not any letters that you know. It's written in some kind of weird runic language that you don't understand.
And you said they looked old, like this wasn't new carvings?
It looks old. It looks like this statue might have been put in sometime around when the temple was built. It's almost as old as the temple is, but then at a certain number of years, you're going to be so worn, and then, however many hundreds on top of that might not make that big of a difference.
Is there any, I know you said there were no details. Is there any, symbols or anything that doesn't look generic about the statue?
Let's try insight just looking at the statue. Arvistan, you could try it too if you want.
Yeah, like if
Alrighty.
it looks like anything we might have seen at the other temple.
8.
All right.
10, but I rolled an 8 plus 2.
Damn.
It looks humanoid, like a person.
Okay.
It looks like a person that was standing there. And Kriv, I'm going to say with your 10, it's not huge insight,
Yeah.
but the person was holding a sword.
Oh.
Is the sword there, or is it just they were holding it? Like it's
Uh,
gone?
It's not there anymore.
Okay.
But looks like they're in a pose of someone that was holding a rather large sword with 2 hands that would have been planted at their feet.
Okay.
How heavy was this? How heavy do you think this sword was? Like, can one single person just carry it out, or do they have to drag it?
You'd have no idea.
We don't
No.
even know if it was stone or a real sword.
Yeah. Do we see any dragged sword markings on the floor?
No.
No. Okay.
Figure's wearing a cape. That's carved in stone also. And looked like they're clad in armor.
Do we see the footprints that came through here, like where they go in the room?
The footprints come here to where those candles are placed in front of the statue, and then they leave again.
Do we see any footprints like going around the statue?
No.
Nothing like that.
But when you do go to look for footprints that might go around the statue, you see at the other side of the room, in both corners, there are more sets of stairs that go down further.
Oh.
Are the footsteps like humanoid?
Shoes?
Yeah, like shoes, like normal-ish shoes?
Not
or...
omni, they'd be from a bipedal person.
Okay. Like normal-ish size, not huge or tiny or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't know what size they are, but
Well,
something, yeah. Something that a person could wear. Not a giant.
Superhuman. Okay. Okay.
And yeah, not like a halfling, not like a small person would wear.
And the footprints go down those places?
They do not go down there. They come to this statue and then leave again.
Alright, Criff, what do you think about this?
I'm not going further till we regroup, I think.
Okay.
I want Robbie to see this too.
Fair enough. Yeah, this is a pretty strange statue. I've never seen anything like this, and it looked like it was holding something, and it's kind of missing.
Yeah, I wonder if that's part of the robbing or not. But it looks like someone's maybe been worshiping this more recently or something. They brought the candles here.
Yeah, they did.
That's usually more of a reverence thing in my experience.
Okay. Do you want to go back and
Yeah,
try to meet up with them?
Yeah, we don't need to keep splitting up. Even if they followed us, they wouldn't know which way we went. So I don't want to complicate this.
Yeah, that is true. All right, let's go back then.
How's it say and Ravi's trip?
Yeah.
We'll cut over to you guys who went down the left hallway. That from the end of the hallway that Arvstan and Kriv came down, it only extends another 15 feet in that direction. And then that opens into its own room, a rectangular room that is 25 feet by 40 feet. This room is supported by 4 pillars that stand strategically to keep the ceiling from caving in. In here, a lot like the hallways from earlier, there are alcoves dug into the walls at regular intervals that have coffins that are meant to be placed in them. And then there's a large stone sarcophagus in the center of the room. Each of the coffins that had been placed in the wall is also made of stone rather than a wooden coffin. They've all been drug out. And they're sort of leaning out of the alcoves that they're in. The stone covers on them have been pushed away, and they're totally empty.
Well, this is unique. I'll say as I kind of like lean over one of them.
Well, I think I need to immediately go to the center because
Sure.
it was the most attractive thing to me. Is that open and available to look in?
That one would be just a little creaked open. And so there's a little triangle shape in the corner that you could peer in through.
Can I see anything?
You'll look in there, and it is also empty. Totally empty.
No body.
No body.
Well, Robbie, there's nothing in here.
There's nothing in any of these over here either.
You don't have any bodies either?
None.
That's weird.
I would agree. I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Detect magic?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Exactly what might need detecting here. Let me just check the spell and make sure I got it right.
Yep.
Now, does that have a range that would lead you outside of the room that you're in?
The range is
30 feet.
30 feet of me. And is blocked if there's 1 foot of stone or 1 inch of common metal, so...
Okay. So you're trying to detect magic in the room. You're looking specifically at like the coffins, the sarcophagus in the middle of the room.
Yeah, I'll probably start there for my magic detection.
Gee. Old. You don't detect that something's happened here that's going on right now, but there's like a trace.
So it's like residue magic.
Yeah, something magic happened. It's not happening right now. It's kind of really hard to determine exactly when it might have happened.
Yeah. Well, as crazy as I thought that guy was, he might have been right. I am detecting whispers of magic in here, which logistically could be one of a few things. Someone else came down here and was searching for magical items, and because of how long the item had been down here, the magic is still here. Or magic was cast to open or have these bodies move. How creaked open is the big sarcophagus? Does it look like...
Yeah, is it enough for something to get out of it?
It is not enough for something to leave.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
If I dust off like the top of the sarcophagus, is there any markings, inscriptions, anything on the sarcophagus itself?
Brush the dust away on the top of the sarcophagus. And unlike a lot of the other markings and carvings you found around in the temple, this one is deep enough and fancy enough that it's still very clear to this day. It says Doal.
I think I found Bob Doal.
Can we see anything the footprints were doing when they walked down here?
It looks like the footprints visited some of these coffins and then left again.
Are there any
other
coffins?
exit in the room? Sorry.
Two
No, you're
people.
correct.
Try again.
There's no other exit in the room?
No, that's the only way in or out of this room.
Are any of the coffins open where it looks like the footprints weren't?
No. I suppose they wouldn't be, no.
Okay. So in that case, there are still sealed coffins in some of these, correct?
A couple, yes.
I think we have to do a test.
Could we open it?
I think we have to.
It's tough to maneuver, so they're set into alcoves. And it's not designed for people to be able to get in there and maneuver them. They're supposed to be closed and then pushed in.
Yep.
The easiest way to open it, well, maybe not the easiest, it might be very difficult, is to pull it out, like you see some of these other coffins are, and then open it once it's outside of the alcove. Alternatively, you could try to get in there and maneuver it, but it would be trickier.
Hazate, you gonna help me pull one of these out?
Okay.
It's a strength check. If Hajite is helping Ravi or vice versa, you can make it with advantage.
What is your strength modifier, Hazate? I think mine's probably higher, but
It's a casual conversation.
It's higher. If it's plus anything, it's higher.
okay. In that case, I got a 15.
Okay. It's a lot of work and effort. You see Ravi start to sweat. You'll see me look over at the types of exhaustion to see if we can dump one of those on him again. But no, you're able
I'm
to.
helping.
You're able to pull it out. Hajite is helping a little bit at the start, but it's kind of tough to get both of you on the edge of the coffin to be able to move it. And once it gets out a little bit more, it's a lot easier. Hajite is able to get another hand on it and slide it out. That same strength check we'll use to get the lid off of the coffin. Do you want to just crack it open, or do you want to totally toss it off to the side?
I just want to crack it open. I want to make sure that there's a body in there.
Oh, that's too bad.
Okay. So you shift it over enough to be able to get a view inside. Take your pendant that's all lit up and dip it down in to illuminate.
And it's grabbed.
It is totally empty.
It's totally empty?
Yes.
Well, this is, I suppose, somewhat reassuring.
Well, did you want to pull out another one?
I really prefer not to. Those are kind of heavy. But I think we've got what we've come for. At least a bit of information. We should probably meet up with the rest of the group and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's around.
Both teams will double back, meet again in the hallway.
There's no clothes or anything else in any of our coffins, correct?
Nothing.
Okay.
So, guys, we found a big ass statue down on our way. It was a really weird statue that we've never seen before. And it has some writing. Maybe you can figure them out, Ravi, if we go down over there. And there's 2 other places that we can go down towards too, but we didn't see any footprints going down there. So our haul kind of goes longer. What do you guys find on your side?
Nothing, unfortunately. And I mean that in the most literal sense. There was no bodies in any of their sarcophaguses, even the sealed ones. There was
a big sarcophagus.
There was that.
Huh.
In the middle of the room that did say Doal. Not that that helps anything. It's not a big revelation, but...
All right. Well,
Interesting.
Yours went further? That's what you said?
it's got 2 more staircases. Should we check out the third way though? If your guys was a dead end, maybe that one is too.
I think that's a good call.
Cover our bases.
Also worth mentioning is that there is magic around here somewhere.
Ooh, necromancy.
I can't be sure. It's pretty old. It's like the residue of someone casting some sort of spell.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, what do you want to do then? You guys want to come our side, or should we check the other side where nobody else has gone?
I think we should check the side no one's gone to.
I agree.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do that.
That hallway will extend down about 20 feet and then make a sharp turn to the left where it goes forward for another 10 feet to a wall.
Oh.
You'll see that every other part of the temple and the hallway that you're in is carved of limestone, either straight out of the bedrock itself or bricks that were moved here. But the wall at the end of this hall is made of mud brick. It's also old, and it's been around for a while, but it is different than everything else. Otherwise, it's just a dead end.
Well, do you just turn around and then head back to that big room you were talking about?
I guess maybe we can ask about this wall if we go back up, if someone knows why this was put up.
I'm probably going to be detecting magic with a 10-minute spell. Do I detect any magic on the other side of the wall?
You don't detect anything in there. There's nothing magical about the wall itself. So you're not sure.
Okay, in that case I wouldn't bring it up.
Assuming we knocked on it, like tried to push on it, nothing happened.
It's brick. It's sturdy. It's built well. Whoever laid this brick did a good job of making it a new wall here. So you don't really know what's on the other side. If there's anything on the other side, it might maybe just this part of the wall broke and it had to be replaced at some point. But yeah, pushing on it, it's a brick wall. It doesn't give.
Okay.
Hey,
For all we know, this could have just been some safety thing or something. Go look at the statue. It's weird.
yeah, we can always come back.
Look at the statue.
Yeah,
Robbie,
you guys just do the statue. Let's go.
Have you ever seen Freyor with like a sword or something like it?
I guess rather than the kind of sword, there are many depictions of him with a sword.
What about a big cape?
I mean, that's not a normal depiction. Some of the old stories tell him as he's wandering through harsh conditions and his like, cloak and such flapping in the wind, so I'd imagine it's possible.
Ooh,
I suppose I'll take a look at the statue to figure out more.
Let's go look.
yeah, let's go. And
Yeah.
then we can see if we split up or go together down the two other hallways that nobody has gone to.
Maybe if we hurry, you still have detect magic, because I should have done that before and I didn't think about it, because I'm not that smart.
You can always ritual
Or-
pick. It takes 10 minutes, but it won't expend an actual like spell slot.
Oh,
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. You will get to the statue. Is there anything, Robbie, that you want to do differently than the others did, or do you want to do some kind of anything with the statue?
Well, first I'm going to see, because if my detect magic is still up, see if there's magic on it.
The statue itself is not magical. But not quite the same as in the other room where you got those traces of magic and you weren't able to really say exactly what happened there. There's a sort of there's an overwhelming sense when you get in there with the candles placed in front of the statue and the statue itself. Even though none of those things are magical, that another magical event occurred here. And this one feels stronger, more recent, something really big.
Can I tell the school of magic at all?
Arcana check.
6.
You're not sure.
Okay. Well, there still is a faint residue of a magic ritual that was performed here, but I can't place the school or what exactly happened, I'm afraid.
Do you even know if it was something dangerous?
Unfortunately not. Magic isn't necessarily inherently good or evil, especially when you're looking for the school. Just telling you what was cast here, not necessarily what it was used for.
Okay. Do you think it could go from could be coming from the candles? And I pointed him at the candles that has the weird writings and stuff like that.
The candles were almost certainly part of the ritual, but that is not necessarily where the magic is emanating from.
Can you read what it says?
I can try, and then I will try to read what it says.
Yeah. So we're going to do the same as Crib did. We're going to do 2 checks, investigation followed by history.
11 on history and 18, or 11 on investigation, 18 on history.
Okay. You can kind of make out the writing that's there. It's definitely not in a language that any of you speak. Sort of an ancient runic language. Your history check tells you not enough to be able to read it necessarily, but there is something familiar about the runes here that's similar to some of the writings that you know from the church.
So this would have been like an old tradition almost that would have predated translation, and like an oral tradition before it was written into like the text kind of a thing.
It's not necessarily that. The runes that are written here are from some of the later Freyor passages, from some of his later exploits that trace back to a different continent. It's called Taufel. It's far off to the north of the continent that you're on right now. Known as being a very harsh place, icy and snowy, where life shouldn't be able to survive. It's where you were told recently by the old man that you met at the gate that Freyor took his last journey when he finally achieved everlasting life. And then he sat there, and he's still there now.
I can tell you this much, team. This appears to be a depiction of Freyor just before he went into his last journey. Unfortunately, I don't know a whole lot more than that at this point.
I put out my flame and I write everything new in the notebook. Keeping it up to date.
What you can also do is you can put a piece of paper on the writing itself and you get like a rubbing.
Yeah.
If you want. Either that or just like try to mark down the runes as you see them.
Rubbing sounds cooler.
Yeah.
I will hand Kriv a parchment. Could you make me a copy of that as well? I'd like it to bring it to Father Gregor, should we get the chance.
Sure, of course.
So, Robbie, you wouldn't happen to have heard of this village at all?
Not that I'm aware of, no. Seeing as how they haven't had a cleric for a long time here, or any sort of priest, that chances are it was predating, maybe even Father Gregor was the last time somebody would have been there.
All right.
Right, so do you guys want to check the other sites?
He's so eager.
Yes. I'm really trying to find some necromancy in here, and not just some Tomb Raiders.
Something fun?
Something fun, yeah.
Ghosts?
I'm down for ghosts. I'll crap myself, but I'm down for that.
I promise you that.
Alright, should we go together?
We're splitting up,
each
gang?
side? Or are we splitting up?
Presumably, this is getting
With
to the
Daphne,
older.
I'm just saying. It means I'm gonna hit all of the traps, every single one.
All right, so we're splitting up.
I presume it might lead to the same place, so we can at least go down and figure it out from there.
I mean, there's two ways to go, right?
Left
One
and
to our
right.
left.
They're about
Left and right.
15 feet apart from each other. They both
Yeah.
go down in the same direction.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we'll just check each, see if we meet up at the bottom.
Alrighty then.
Should we
Let's
come
go,
back up if
Crib.
we don't?
I heard many people speak
Forever.
at once. Let's go one at a time. Who's doing what?
Are we meeting back up if they do not join together? Or are we doing what we did last time and wandering more?
I think if they come to giant rooms that have dead ends, explore the room. If they end up giant rooms with multiple hallways, we come back.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
same rules as before would be good, I think.
Okay.
All right. Hashtag don't be stealing stuff, okay? And turn around and start running away.
Do I look like a kleptomaniac?
I want to go down the right stairs.
All right, let's go.
Dibs.
That's
Okay.
fine. You said left's always better anyway.
There you
I
go.
said it's worse luck.
That's fine.
Okay. Arbstan and Kriv down the right. Hajite and Ravi down the left.
Yes.
The stairs descend down about 10 feet. So you get a little bit deeper down into it. Once you get to the bottom, you can see, look over to your left or to your right and see that your companions are right there. The stairs lead to the same hallway. So you haven't really split yourselves up.
Great.
But Arbstan and Kriv, when you turn to your left to see Hajite and Ravi, and they turn and they both look at you, you can also see past them there's another person.
Oh no.
Squat down
Great.
and facing in the opposite direction. They're about 20 feet away from Hajite and Ravi, who are looking at you. They're not looking in this direction right now.
So they haven't noticed us, assumedly?
This figure hasn't noticed any of you just yet. As far as you
Okay.
know, Arbstan and Kriv, you look. It's sort of at the edge of your vision. Kriv, your light kind of barely catches it, and Arbstan, it's at the edge of your dim light, dark vision. So, sort of tough to make out.
Okay, I'll kind of put a hand on Arbstan real quick to like stop him and kind of. Well, no, I can't do that because I got fire. I won't do that. I'll put my arm in front
Yeah,
of
you-
it, like make a quiet noise and
I punch myself in the face with fire.
I like the book on fire.
Do you put out the fire?
no, I'm holding one hand, but the arm, like like in the car when like you have to stop and you like throw your arm in front of the passenger seat, whether someone's there or not, that kind of thing. Kind of just to stop Arbstan, and then just kind of to you guys, kind of do like the like shh, and then like the mime like turning around or pointing or whatever. I don't know, something vague like.
I will try to slowly and quietly, like, take my shield off of my back and then slowly turn.
That's your specialty.
Yeah.
It is.
Turn around. Try not to make your chainmail sound so much.
Ching, 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 ching.
This is in a giant mausoleum that'll echo a lot.
Oh my god. You just cannot sneak.
All right.
So everybody
Now-
will turn to face.
Yeah, we turn to face it.
The figure that's crouched there, at not the end of the hallway, but a corner of the hallway. You can see that the hallway extends off to the right, next to where that figure is. But you're hearing a crunching sound, coming from it.
Kind
And then it stops for a second. The noise stops. And you'll see the figure that's sort of squat down there on the floor very slowly stands up, facing in the opposite direction of you. And it'll kind of creak and turn its head. Let's see if I can get a good effect here. You'll see it's got blood all over its mouth,
Great.
dripping down on its neck. A humanoid figure with wispy hair. Its eyes are sort of bulging out. The skin around its eyes is peeled back a little bit. And the tip of its
Wendigo.
nose is gone. When it turns and sees you, you'll see it'll turn its hands around too, and you'll see a dead rabbit in its hands. Just all gored out from its back, blood dripping off of it. And the figure will let out just a long, haunting wheeze. Like a...
Great.
And that's where we're going to call it for this week.
Oh!
Nice.
All right.
Oh, I want me a Wendigo.
I have a dice for that.
All right. So that's interesting because there were no footprints at all or any type of prints.
Not up
Correct.
there.
Exactly.
Nothing that came down.
Nothing that came down and nothing that came up. So,
We didn't look for that.
no, I did. I asked him and he said no.
Nothing else came out that way.
Nothing. Yeah. Nothing went or came up out of there. So,
Next week's Halloween special.
whoop whoop.
Noise.
Alrighty.
Boy. Can we dress up?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see why we can't always dress up.
You can do that anytime.
True.
That'll be a lot of pain to paint myself blue.
Oh,
You
that
do
sounds so
whatever.
fun though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna do
thank
it.
you. I'm good.
I agree.
you can be our stand.
I can be our
Yeah,
stand.
you'll be average.
What if we all just dressed up as like off character?
Oh God.
All the wrong ones.
I'll just paint my hair green and
Good
our
luck.
relationship could be pretty.
Whoever's dressing
Good
up
luck.
as Kriv, best of luck to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Good luck.
What if we all just decide to be Kriv?
Fun game.
That's interesting.
All Dragonborn druids.
I'm gonna be Father Gregor.
Oh, I got that. That's funny. Alrighty then.
Okay, yeah. Thank you to everyone
Yep.
for watching. And we got a handful of people. And thank you to everybody for playing. I mean that sincerely. I know
Always.
it sounds like I'm just saying that, like, oh, you just saying it. I really mean it. This is a great group.
Yeah, first timers. A lot of first timers here. So
Yeah, you guys are doing a good
including
job.
me.
Very impressed with how engaged everybody is. You all seem like you're really feeling it. So that's great. I love it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and we'll be back next week, October 29th, Halloween special. Get ready. It's gonna be spooky. Maybe it'll be goofy. I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to you guys.
It'll be something, that's for sure.
It'll
Yeah,
be
it's gotta
there.
something. Yeah.
All right. That's it for this week. Goodbye,
All right.
everybody.
Bye.
All right, perfect.